Take a close look at these two bottles. Same oil, same formula, same factory. But one says full synthetic, the other says HC Synthesa. Here's the twist. Sell the German label in the US, no problem. Sell the American label in Germany? You could get sued. Same oil. One word changes everything. Because in Germany, synthetic has to be real. In the US, it's just marketing. Today we expose the loophole big oil brands use to charge premium prices for refined petroleum, and how you can spot it instantly. Before we name names, let's be clear. These oils aren't bad. They're API certified, they protect your engine, and they do the job just fine. The issue isn't performance, it's pricing. You're paying premium money for something that, in some countries, can't legally be called synthetic. Think of it like paying Ferrari prices for a really good Toyota. It works, but it's not what you were sold. This all goes back to 1999, when Mobil sued Castrol for calling heavily refined petroleum synthetic. Chemically, Mobil was right, but the ruling changed everything. Synthetic was defined by performance, not how it's made. And overnight, oil companies could label ultra-refined crude as synthetic and charge you a lot more for it. Every oil on this list falls into a category called Group 3. Here's what that means in plain English. Group 1 and Group 2 oils are conventional motor oils, refined from crude petroleum, minimally processed. Group 3 oils are also refined from crude petroleum, but they go through a much more intensive refining process called hydrocracking, which removes a huge percentage of the impurities. The result is a very clean, very consistent base oil that genuinely performs better than conventional oil. Group 4 oils, made from PAO, are true synthetics, built molecule by molecule in a laboratory. Group 5 includes everything else that's lab-engineered: esters, polyalkylene glycols, and similar compounds used in racing and extreme duty applications. Here's the key point. Every Group 3 oil started as crude oil in the ground. It was pumped up, refined, and processed. It was never assembled from scratch. And in Germany, that distinction matters legally. In the US, it's just chemistry trivia, because the marketing won. Now let's go through the list. Number 10. Royal Purple High Performance. Royal Purple is perhaps the most aggressively marketed oil on this list. The purple bottle, the high-performance branding, the motorsport imagery. It screams premium chemistry. And to be fair, it is an excellent oil. The additive package is genuinely impressive, and the performance data backs that up. But the base stock? Primarily Group 3 petroleum, the same hydrocracked crude that forms the foundation of far cheaper options. You're paying a significant premium for the additive blend and the brand identity. The underlying oil chemistry is refined petroleum. Number 9. Supertech Full Synthetic. Supertech is Walmart's store brand motor oil, and it is probably the least pretentious product on this list. Nobody's buying Supertech because they think they're getting exotic lab-created lubricant. They're buying it because it's affordable, it's available at 3 a.m., and it meets the spec on their oil cap. Here's the thing though. Supertech Full Synthetic is a Group 3 oil. It meets API specifications. It will do the job. The only scam here is the label saying full synthetic when the chemistry says very clean petroleum. For a budget oil, it genuinely performs, but it's a great example of how completely commoditized the word synthetic has become in the American market. Number 8. Amazon Basics Full Synthetic. Amazon Basics makes batteries, paper towels, HDMI cables, and now, motor oil. Amazon Basics Full Synthetic is a white label Group 3 product, meaning Amazon sourced it from a third-party manufacturer and put their label on it. It meets API SN+ or SP specs. It is not a bad oil, but it is the ultimate proof of our central argument today. When a company famous for selling USB cables can slap full synthetic on a bottle and sell it next to your book order, the term has completely lost its technical meaning. Synthetic in America is now a commodity descriptor. It means better than conventional. That's it. Number 7. Quaker State Full Synthetic. Quaker State is one of the oldest names in American motor oil, and their full synthetic line is a solid, reliable Group 3 product. Good cold weather performance, decent viscosity retention, competitive pricing in the mid-tier market. But again, refined petroleum base, heavily processed. Not a molecule engineered in a lab. Quaker State is interesting because it occupies that middle space, priced above budget oils, positioned below the premium tier, and doing exactly what a Group 3 oil should do. There's just no reason to call it synthetic if we're being scientifically honest. Number 6. Shell Rotella T6 Full Synthetic. If you own a diesel truck, you probably know someone who would defend Rotella T6 with their life. And honestly, that loyalty is earned. It is an excellent heavy-duty diesel engine oil with a strong track record. But Rotella T6 is built on a Group 3 Plus base stock. The Plus designation means it's been processed to a higher level than standard Group 3, closer to Group 4 in terms of purity and molecular consistency, but it still originates from petroleum crude. Shell does excellent engineering work with their base stocks and additive chemistry. The oil genuinely performs at a high level. It is still refined petroleum calling itself synthetic. Number 5. Liqui-Moly, Lightloff, and Special Tech. Now we get to the smoking gun. This is the entry that makes the entire argument undeniable. Liqui-Moly is a German company, one of the most respected oil brands in Europe. Their engineering reputation is exceptional, and their products are genuinely high quality. Here's what makes Liqui-Moly so important to this conversation. They sell the same oil under 2 different labels depending on the country. In the United States, Liqui-Moly, Lightloff High-Tech, and Special Tech lines are marketed as full synthetic. In Germany, their home country, where they are legally required to be accurate, those same oils are labeled HC Synthesa. HC Synthesa. Hydrocracked synthesis. In other words, refined petroleum. This is not speculation. This is not an interpretation. You can look at the German product listing and the American product listing side by side right now. Same formulation, different label. Because the German consumer protection framework demands honesty and the American framework does not. If there is one data point that proves everything we're saying today, it's this one. A company cannot call their oil full synthetic in Germany if it's a Group 3 hydrocracked product. So they don't. They come to America, and they do. Number 4. Mobil 1 Standard and Extended Performance. This one is a bit of a tragedy, honestly. The original Mobil 1 was a genuine Group 4 PAO synthetic, a true laboratory-engineered lubricant. When Mobil 1 launched in the 1970s, it was a revolutionary product, real synthetic chemistry applied to automotive lubrication. And then Mobil sued Castrol for calling their hydrocracked petroleum synthetic. And then Mobil lost. And then, sometime in the years that followed, Mobil began transitioning the majority of their Mobil 1 product line to Group 3 and Group 3 Plus blends. The economics made sense. Group 3 base stocks are significantly cheaper to produce than PAO. And now that synthetic legally covered Group 3 anyway. Some Mobil 1 products still contain PAO components. The extended performance line, for instance, does incorporate some Group 4 base stock, but it's blended with Group 3, not pure PAO. The brand that sued to defend the meaning of synthetic now sells products that, in Germany, would have to be labeled HC Synthesa. The irony is almost too much. Number 3. Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic. Valvoline is another iconic American brand with a long history of solid performance products. Their Advanced Full Synthetic line is a well-formulated Group 3 oil with good additive chemistry, and it performs competitively in testing. Valvoline does a good job with their additive package. Their Max Life line in particular is well regarded for older engines, and their full synthetic products are genuinely capable. But the base stock is hydrocracked petroleum, Group 3, not PAO, not ester, refined crude. For the price point, Valvoline is a reasonable choice. But advanced full synthetic is doing a lot of marketing heavy lifting for what is, chemically speaking, very refined conventional oil.
Number 2. Pennzoil Platinum. Pennzoil Platinum deserves its own conversation because it is genuinely different from the other oils on this list, and the way Shell markets it actually obscures something interesting. Pennzoil Platinum is made using a process called gas-to-liquid technology, or GTL. Here's what that means. Shell starts with natural gas, not crude oil, and uses a chemical conversion process to transform that gas into a liquid base oil. The result is exceptionally pure, lower sulfur content than conventional hydrocracked stocks, very consistent molecular structure, genuinely excellent performance. Here's the catch. The GTL process, despite its cleanliness and the quality of its output, still produces what chemists classify as a Group 3 base oil. It doesn't produce PAO. The molecules are different from petroleum-derived Group 3 oils, but they're still classified in the same API base oil category. So Pennzoil Platinum is arguably the most interesting case on this list. It's the purest Group 3 oil you can buy, made from an unusually clean starting material, and it performs at a very high level. But full synthetic by the German standard? It's still HC Synthesa territory. Shell markets the GTL angle heavily, and they're not wrong that it produces a superior Group 3 oil. They're just calling it something that a German court would not allow. Number 1. Castrol Edge. We're putting Castrol at the top of the list for one simple reason. They are the reason we're having this conversation. Castrol Edge is the brand that fought the lawsuit in 1999. They were the defendant when Mobil argued that calling hydrocracked petroleum synthetic was false advertising. Castrol won. The NAD ruled in their favor, and the American motor oil market changed permanently. Castrol Edge is a well-engineered Group 3 oil with a strong titanium-based additive package. The fluid titanium technology they advertise has legitimate performance benefits. It is not a bad oil, but Castrol Edge is the living proof of the loophole. It is the brand that legally redefined the word synthetic away from its scientific meaning. It is the one that started the chain reaction that made everything else on this list possible. And yes, in Germany, Castrol sells products labeled accordingly, because they have to. Here's the honest answer. It depends on how you drive and how you use your oil. If you're doing regular 5,000-mile changes in a normal daily car, a high-quality Group 3 synthetic is perfectly fine. Your engine is protected, and in real-world use, the difference is minimal. You're not hurting anything. But it starts to matter when you push the limits. If you're running long drain intervals, 10,000 to 15,000 miles, or driving a turbocharged engine with extreme heat, true synthetics like PAO and esters hold up better. That's where the chemistry actually makes a difference. And if you're paying extra just because the bottle says full synthetic, you should know this. In countries where that term is strictly defined, your oil might not qualify. So no, your engine isn't in danger, but you might be paying premium prices for something that isn't truly premium. Here's what to do. Grab your oil and look up the SDS. If it says PAO, you've got the real thing. If it says petroleum distillates, now you know what you're actually using. Drop your oil brand in the comments. We'll break it down together. And if this changed how you see that bottle in your garage, share it. Because the truth isn't hidden. It's just buried where most people never look.